Hi, Rusty Dog here. Welcome to this video where we're going to be taking a look at building a ship in EDO Materials Helper. So before we get started, just a few things. The normal procedure I guess you guys would do, and myself, is to build the ship in Coriolis.io or do it in ED Shipyard. Both of those are the norm ways to do things, right? So that's fine, and I don't think that's going to change. However, I also am aware that Coriolis does have a function or a feature to export the ship build that you've built there into either ED Engineer or ED Odyssey Material Helper. Now, I haven't tried ED Engineer. I do have it. I do have it installed, but I haven't tried it that way. But I specifically want it here in ED Odyssey Material Helper. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get it to work. It keeps coming up with some deep parse error. So I've tried it. I've tried exporting the build from Coriolis to ED Odyssey Material Helper in Firefox, which I know is probably going to be problematic. Also, I've done it in Chrome and Edge, and it won't work. So what I'm left to do is rebuild the ship from Coriolis into here. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to find out what we need to build it. And I'm also going to not include a couple of items because they're already done on my Python. My Python's in its very early stages. So what we're going to have here is a Python that is essentially multi-role. It's going to be able to take cargo and do its thing, but also if it has to defend itself, it's going to be able to defend itself as well. Hopefully. Yeah. So we're going to take a look at the build, and it's also available on my Discord in the ship build channel. So if you go to my Discord, the full Python build is also there, and it was kindly provided by Kathina, so thank you, Kathina, for the build for this. It's kind of been built to spec for me, for what I want it to do, and I didn't want an all-out combat Python, because had that been the case, the build would have been completely different to what this one is right now. Well, I say completely, but yeah, there would have been a lot of changes. Now, also, the Python is going to have the new Super Cruise Overcharge function on it, and it's going to have a couple of things on it to help with that. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the build. So what we need to do here is go to the ship editor here, okay, and it tells me that my current ship is an Asp Explorer, which is true, and this is on my Oliver Hardy live account. We're not going to be doing it on the Rusty Dog account, so make sure if you've got multiple accounts that you've got the correct account down here, and it has to be the live one in order for it to know how many materials you have and all that stuff. Alright, so we've got the hard points here, which, as you can see, we've got a nice graphic. It tells you where all the hard points are. That's really cool. But what we need to do is start a brand new build. So we're going to go to Options and Create Ship. And we're going to call it Oliver's Python. And create the ship. Alright, now, obviously it doesn't know it's a Python just because I've written it in there. So I'm going to have to specify Python. And here's the layout. Now, let's leave the hard points for now. We're going to start here with the alloy. Now, this is quite an easy thing to do. I'm just going to have to keep going off screen all the time to double check where we are with Coriolis with all the upgrades. So, lightweight alloy is going to be, just click it, just click the thing here, and we go heavy duty, and then we have to scroll down. It's already preset to 5, so if you want anything other than 5, you can either choose here, or I guess you can, well, actually, I don't know what that does. What does that do? Oh no, leave it. Grade 5, and we want deep plating, which is here. Okay. That's it. Right, power plant. Let me just, oh, it's awkward this. So power plant is low emissions with thermal spread. So again, we click the box, low emissions, scroll down, thermal spread. And then I was hoping that clicking back in the box would make this thing go away, but it actually doesn't. So I'm going to click in this empty area here. Okay, thrusters then. Now, the thrusters are dirty drives with drag, but I'm not going to include them on this build. I'm going to leave it as stock. Why? Because my Python already has this engineering on it. So the reason I'm leaving it out is because when I come to ask it what materials do I need to build this ship, I don't want it to include those materials. So we're going to leave this one out. Frameshift drive, again, we're just going to go to change the class here to a 5C SCO. That's it, the overcharge. So no engineering on that one. And my Python is just, you can't engineer this thing, so there's no point doing anything else on it, just fit it into the ship. So life support is going to be lightweight, grade 5. There are no experimentals on this one. And the power distributor I happen to know is charge enhanced. Hold on, I just need to get it. Right. Now, the other thing is, it would be nice if when I had finished here, charge enhanced with super conduits, that when I click back in the box here, that it makes it go away. It doesn't. Why do we have a save here for this particular? Okay, so you can actually save a specific module. Okay, this is my first time doing this, by the way. So I think sensors is kind of expected in that it's long range. I was expecting that one. Again, there are no experimentals on this. And then we just got the standard fuel tank. All right. So we're going, by the way, in case you're wondering why I've missed out the hard points, it's because on Coriolis, they don't come until after the optionals. So we're doing it in Coriolis order. So we got at the top here, cargo rack, yes, but we want a 6. So we're going to change that to a 6. A 6. And also here we want cargo rack. I'm just going to pick that. Trying to pick it. Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing, didn't I? So we want a cargo rack 6E. There we go. If you had a different one in there, like me, you can just choose here. You can change the rating and the class here. You can go up and down and just change it right there. Actually, that should have been a D. Oh yeah, I need to do this, guys. I need to put A's on these. Good thing. Ooh. Right, that is a C. That's an E, 7A. Yeah, you can't just select the thing and assume it knows. Right, 6D. Okay. Ooh, good thing I altered those because we really need them. Power group 3. Okay. All right. Right, yeah, cargo rack. So we got 3 cargo racks in a row, and then in the first class 5 slot, we want the shields, which are going to be 5C biweaves. Now we have dropped from 6C biweaves to 5C, so we are down a class that we could put 6s on if we wanted, is what I'm saying, but we're not. We're doing 5s, but we're making up for that by adding some extra shield reinforcements later. So let's get down. I think these look to be in alphabetical order. So we want shield generators and we want 5C bi-weaves. So we'll scroll down for those. There. I don't know why those would be in red. Maybe because I don't have the materials to build them? I don't know. So 5C bi-weave. Okay. Bi-weaves only come in C's anyway, so fine. Alright, the next thing will be the Guardian frame shift booster. Yeah, we've even got space for one of those. So let's come down to the G's and see if it's in here. It's not. Got module, hull. Frame shift drive boosters. Yeah, guys, I think that should have had the word Guardian in front, so it got looped in. Anyway, it's there. Now, here, the first of our frame shift drive Super Cruise Overcharge add-ons, and it is going to be a fuel tank. We're adding extra fuel here, guys. It's going to be a 4C. So we're going to be having 48 tons of fuel instead of the standard 32, which is what this gives out. Okay, you can see in the top right there, it gives out that. All right, so in the first of the 3 slot, guess what? Yep, you guessed it. More cargo. And then we have in the 3, the 2, and the 1, they're all going to be Guardian shield reinforcements. So we want and they're all going to be D's, not E's. So D, and then again the same. Actually, we could just start typing it here, couldn't we? Guardian S, there we go. And we want 2D, and here Guardian S, 1D, 3D, 2D, 1D, doodle-doop, fine. Right, now hard points. I can tell you what these are going to be. Yeah, so the top 3 large are all going to be the same, but with slightly different engineering on one of them. So multi-cannons, we want 3Cs. Nope. 3C gimbaled. I wonder if fixed would have been a good thing on these. Don't know yet. I might think about fixed before we build this. Right, so this is going to have short range, and it's also going to have incendiary rounds, which can be quite the drama show. Now, is there a way to clone this into this one? I can move it. Okay, if you hold shift, you can move. If you hold control, you will clone. That's beautiful. Now you can see we've got 3 here, but on this last one, which goes underneath on the nose, this is not going to be incendiary, but it's going to be corrosive. Oh, that's brilliant. You can clone them, so if you have duplicate modules, you can just do that. That's brilliant. Okay, and in the last 2, I'm just going to make sure that they're both exactly the same. They are indeed. So here we're going to go with beam lasers, actually. So 2D beams, which will have efficient with thermal vent. Okay, so we want 2 of those. So I'm going to hold control, pull down, and now we've got 2 of those. So these are 2 gimbaled, and again you can change here, fixed, gimbal, turreted, I guess, or multi, yeah, turreted. There you go, it's got the multi-crew icon there as well. So it's actually not showing that it's a D here, it's just showing that it's gimbaled. But that's okay. And you've got all, again, you've got all the information on the right hand side there, and it does tell you beam laser 2D G, which is obviously for gimbaled. And yeah, so you've got it all up here, and the prices. Whether you can build in discount, the 15% discount, I don't know. So we've got the hard points done, we've got the cores, and we've got the optionals. So all we need now is the utility mounts. So I'm just going to make sure that, well, we've got 3 shield boosters, but I don't know if the engineering's the same. So that and that, that and that. Okay, okay, one is different. Right, so let's start. So we want shield boosters. I like how I don't have to type the beginning of the thing. I can just start in the middle. I could have just typed in boost, which is cool. Right, so we're going with OB on those, and we're going to spec up this one as, I've forgotten now, thermal resistance with thermal block. Right, so thermal resistant with thermal block. Okay, and then I'm going to hold down the control key and drop that down to there and that to there. I love how this bit disappears and you just see the ship now. That's brilliant. Now the difference is that on the final booster we have the same experimental, except it's not thermal resistant. It's going to be heavy duty on that one. Cool. And finally, the very last item is a heatsink launcher. There's a pre-engineered one here. Ammo capacity ×2. I wonder if we can go for that one. That's not what's on the build, but the pre-engineered one might be nice to go for. But let's take a look. We'll just stick with what's on the build for now. So we've got a heatsink launcher with ammo capacity to grade 5, and that's just going to give me basically an extra one. Does it actually say what the total is? It's got the clip size. Oh, ammo maximum. So we're going from 2 to 3. Okay. But if we did go for the other one, we go from 2 to 4. So ammo maximum on that is 4. This one is 3. It's got, obviously, if I choose to go for the pre-engineered one, we're going to have to get more materials and stuff in order to unlock that. So there's the build. So what we want to do now is we want to add not the changed stuff. Oh yeah, well, add anything that's changed to the wish list, but no, we want to add everything to our wish list, and that will tell us all the materials that we need to build this Python and which ones I have and which ones I don't. So the question is, how many reds are we going to be looking at? Now there's no save ship or anything here, so I'm going to assume that it's saving as it's going along. So let's click add all to wish list. This is exactly why we built it in here, so we can do this. And you've got all your stuff down here as well, right? So jump range is 22 something, which I think marries up with, it's kind of marrying up with what Coriolis says, but Coriolis doesn't have the SCO frameshift drive built in here, but I think it's the same as the standard 5C. But anyway, let's go. Right, we can add it to the default wish list or create a new one. Now if I create a new one, it's going to create a separate wish list just for this Python, so it won't interfere with any other wish lists that I have. So I'm going to create a new one. And there it is, Oliver's Python wish list. So you've got your default one, which is, I can add anything to this now, and then you've got your Python one. So this is what Oliver Hardy needs to build this Python in its entirety. So we've got some greens there which are classed as completed, so we're going to hide those. This is what we need. So we can visit a raw material trader and we can pick up some germanium and phosphorus and tungsten perhaps, and it even tells me here, you know, I think in yellow it means you can trade polonium, but you won't fill up the amount you need. But if you do the green ones, then you can do them all. If I've got 150 technetium, but if I trade one, I can get 27 phosphorus. So I'll immediately complete that already by just doing all the trading. So if we follow the trading, like on this one, if I'm prepared to give up 5 meth, which you can get that back in a mission, then I can receive 45. I'll receive 45 and that'll be enough. So anything that's green, it means I can already do a trade. This one I can't. I can do a partial trade. In other words, I can do a trade which will give me some of the amount, but not all. Like 150 owned here, but I've got to give up 24 of these atypical encryption archives in order to just to receive 4. Don't really fancy doing that. So cracked industrial firmware, it says where to find. So you've got scan settlement data points, hacking megaship terminals, data beacons. Yeah, that's going to be a bugger because we need a lot of those. So yeah, this is what we need, guys. This is this is the grind we're going to have to undertake. And also, once everything has gone green and we've got everything that we need to do it, then we can start visiting the engineers. And this is the order that we visit them in, based on the system that I'm in right now. This order may change later, because as I move around the bubble, this order will dynamically move and change around depending where I am, because I might end up in a system that's really close to Celine Jean. Don't know. But right now, where I am, Marco is the nearest, or maybe not necessarily the nearest, but this is the most efficient. This is the most efficient way to go to the engineers. Marco, Dweller, in that order. Now, we have another issue, and that's this. The beam laser, the heatsink launcher, and the life support and power plant and shield boosters are done up to grade 5 by engineers that I have not unlocked yet. So we have to unlock those. And I think if we click on, let's say, life support lightweight, it tells us here that we need to unlock one of these. Now Etienne Dawn is in Colonia, as you can see, so it's either Bill Turner or Laurie Jameson. Now to do Laurie Jameson, if we look at the list here, we've already unlocked Professor Palin, so we need to get grade, or at least 3 with him, to be invited to Laurie Jameson, which we may have done already. We may have already got the introduction there, I don't know. And then we need to gain combat rank dangerous or higher. That's going to be a problem because we are a long way from dangerous. We're a long way. That's a hell of a requirement. So, in order for grade 5 light support, we might just have to put up with grade 4 or grade 3 for now, because it's going to take me ages to get to dangerous rank. And we need 25 tons of Conga Ale. So some of these are not going to be all the way possible. But again, if we look on live support, we can see Laurie Jameson only goes up to 4, Bill Turner only goes up to 3, but it's Etienne Dawn is the only one that goes up to grade 5 lightweight. Now Bill Turner, maybe we can unlock him, but Etienne Dawn, we'd have to go to Colonia to do it. So let's take a look. Where's Bill Turner? Here. Right, so we need to unlock DD Vartaman first and then Bill. What does Bill want? Okay, well, it's this. We can do that. That's easier. That's easier. And I'm not saying we're going to do it, but if we were to go up to, oh God, oh, Etienne Dawn, we can't do that either, because Etienne Dawn's in Colonia up to grade 5, which is great, and I would consider going up there if there was more than one engineer we could make use of up there to make this build work. But the problem is, to unlock Etienne Dawn, we need to get past Liz Ryder, who needs us at dangerous, combat rank dangerous. So we can't even unlock this tree until I get to dangerous. Oh no, hold on, what am I getting it mixed up with? Laurie Jameson. Sorry. I was getting it mixed up. Oh, thank God. Right, Etienne Dawn, let's see. So, I'm not saying I'm going up to Colonia. Right, so Liz Ryder wants take missions or trade from you. That's great. That's awesome for what this Python's going to be. Initial contract 200 tons, which is what the Python's going to end up being able to hold, 200 tons of cargo. Landmines, which can only be bought at planet bases. Okay. So we can definitely do Liz Ryder, but then she does what module upgrades does Liz Ryder do? Let's take a look. Where are you, Lizzie? So she'll do missile racks. So what I'm going to have to do is just put a missile rack on a ship and just engineer it up to beyond grade 3, and that's it. It's just to get the grade on her, the ranking, and then we can throw it away. Actually, a missile rack, I could probably engineer one up and we could probably make some good use of it later on, store it for later. Yeah, so anyway, there you go. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, we'll do that in a live stream. But yeah, 25 items on the wish list. As you can see, the white ones are stuff that we can't do. I think if we took everything to grade 4, we'd probably get a lot less reds, because grade 5s are going to be, you know, knocking us down a little bit. But the Oliver Hardy account is still fairly early on, and it's, you know, we haven't unlocked all the engineers yet, so there's a lot of stuff that we can't do here. So this ship's going to prove to be a little bit of a thing to do. The shield boosters here, we've got thermal and heavy duty, but obviously we only have to unlock DD Vartaman for that, or Mel Brandon. So again, if we can't unlock DD Vartaman for whatever reason, because it's going to take too long, but we can do Mel Brandon, that's all in Colonia. And if we go to Colonia for, you know, 2 to 3 engineers, or actually, if I go to Colonia, I'm going to try and unlock all of them while I'm up there. So I don't have to do it once, and then just pin the blueprints that I want to pin. Felicity will do shield boosters, but only up to level 1. Lee Chung will do them up to 3. So we can't do everything. And the other thing is the efficient beam laser. Oof. Brew Tarquin can do them all the way up to 5. So what's the tree for that one? Brew. Please don't be on that same branch. Right, so we've got to do Liz Ryder, Heratani, and then we'll get Brew. So we've got to unlock a number of engineers in order to make this build. And even if we do, we can't get everything here up to grade 5. That's the thing. Anyway, so I just wanted you to see the building of ships in Odyssey Material Helper, and the fact that you can then just click add all to wish list, and then when you come here you can see exactly what you need to build that ship to completion with the engineers. So you can engineer the whole thing in one go. But I think I'm going to be making heavy use of the material brokers, right? The raw, the manufacturer, and the engineers. Now, if you go to materials up here, where it tells you all your materials and what you have and stuff like that, right? Depending on where you are in the bubble right now, if I was at Diaguandri, it would be telling me one set of information. If I was in Seoul, it would be telling me a different set of information. But right now, where I am, which is that where I am, in a detainment center? Anyway, let's pretend I'm at Diaguandri. It's telling me this is your nearest raw, your nearest encoded, and your nearest manufactured material trader from where you are, and those are the distances. So all I have to do is just click on here, it'll copy it to the clipboard, and we can go. And as I move around the bubble, of course, these will change because I'll be changing who's my nearest, okay? So yeah, this is there all the time, so you always know where your nearest one is, which is a fantastic, useful piece of information to have right in front of you, which if you have this running while you're playing, it's changing dynamically, which is just brilliant. Okay guys, yeah, that's the build. As I said, it's on Discord. It's on my Discord in my ship builds server. So thank you, Kathina, for this. We'll do what we can, and that's it. Guys, take care. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now. Don't forget to sub and like and things. Yeah. Or else. Yeah. That's... Yeah, anyway, I'm out of here. Ciao.